Welcome back, guys. I'm here in the garage today. I'm going to be tackling a bit of a small woodworking project. The time of year is here again. It's spring, and with that it's gardening season. I like to grow some of our own vegetables as much as possible, and the area that we're in here, we usually can't get a garden going until the end of May, just because the weather, you never know. Will still probably get lots of nights that are down below freezing. So around the end of May is usually when we're safe in this area to, actually start your garden. But having said that, one of the ways around it obviously is a greenhouse. Now, I don't really grow enough to justify building my own big walk-in greenhouse kind of thing. But one of the ideas I had was just to build a miniature greenhouse that you can kind of set all your little plants that you're just starting in and carry it outside and back in at night kind of thing, so that you can keep an eye on the weather. And for the most part during the days now, it's not going to get down below freezing, so you can carry it out at the start of the day and then bring it back in at night so that the frost doesn't kill them. But that'll definitely give me a big head start on just planting the seeds in the garden at the end of May, and hopefully I can be enjoying some vegetables a lot sooner than I normally would. Anyways, I'm gonna get started. So what I've ended up with is 4 walls. The 2 here are 3 feet long and 2 feet high, and then these 2 are 2 by 2. So I'm gonna put them all together in a box and kind of make myself a little greenhouse, basically. It'll look like a little house. And if you're not familiar with my channel, all this wood that I'm using, it's rough cut white cedar off the sawmill that I own. So I've sawed all this lumber up, so if you don't count the cost of the sawmill and whatnot, I didn't have to put out any money for the wood. And I also just ended up getting this vapor barrier. This is just like insulation vapor barrier that I scrounged off a building site, like a residential housing site. Just asked the guy there if he had any scrap vapor barrier laying around, and came up with more than enough for what I need, so that's pretty awesome. So I guess I'm gonna try just like gluing it around the outsides and put some nails or staples to hold it in. So other than the cost of the glue and the staples, I'm not really out any money, which is awesome. It's just one of those little projects that, you know, if I had to go to the store and buy all the stuff, I probably wouldn't end up doing it, even though it probably wouldn't cost that much. It's just one of those little projects that I wouldn't want to put money out for. So having all the stuff for free and just being able to do it like this is pretty awesome. So it's, the next step that I'm going to do is just attach the vapor barrier to all these frames, and then from there I'll put them together. I'm going to try to use some wood glue without making too big of a mess. That's always the kicker, is trying not to get it all over the stuff you're working with. But I think I'm gonna try putting a thin layer of glue along and then nailing the vapor barrier to the wood also. So I've got my bead of glue around there now, and I just need to try to get this on here without smearing it all over the place. Okay. Seems to cover everything. Ooh, that's a lot longer of a nail. Well, I think I'm fairly happy with that. I'm just gonna use my knife to trim the excess off. I can just go around and do all the other panels the same way. Well, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do this part down on the ground because I wouldn't be able to reach up high enough on the table, so. I think this is coming along pretty nicely for what I want. I purposely built it out of cedar. It's really light, so this will be really easy to just pick up and carry around. So obviously I want to put some vapor barrier on the top now, so that'll kind of enclose it in, and then maybe just I don't know, some binder twine or something. We're on a farm, there's always lots of that around, so if you're not familiar, that's what we wrap around big bales of hay, or small bales too, but I might just put a piece of that for kind of like a carrying handle. And then I'm going to build a base that's separate, so I can kind of just lift this on and off whenever I want, because if it turns out to be a really hot day, I might not even want this on top of the plants. I might just want them outside by themselves. So let's get to her. I was just using the hammer and nails because I thought that this thing would blow through the plastic for sure, but there is a setting you can use to make it knuckle right through, and it's actually a lot faster using this, so I'm surprised I can get away with that. I think that'll work just fine. So the only other step I have left is making a little base so that the plants can sit on it. I don't think that'll take me near as long, but I'll get a measurement and get that made up. I decided to go to screws for this part because this is the bottom, but all the weight's of the plants is gonna be on this, and even though it won't weigh that much, I just feel a little bit better with something a bit beefier holding it together than those little brad nails. Alright, that should be pretty solid. I might even make myself just a little bit of a skirt around the side, just, you know, so if you happen to do this, they don't slide off the end. But that should be nice and solid, and I know I've said it before, but it's awesome how light cedar is, that this is like nothing to pick up, so that's awesome. there we go, guys, my little tray. I know this isn't like a large scale operation by any means, but I think it'll help me out quite a bit. So that's the general idea anyways, and I can have my little seedling started on here, and in the morning, as long as it's warm enough, I can just carry this out and set it out somewhere like that. And then I can just grab my top piece here like this and carry it on over, set it on top of it. Might have to figure out a couple little, anchors maybe, just to make sure that it doesn't blow away if it's windy out or something like that. But all in all, I think that should work pretty good. It'll let lots of sunlight in at them and should do a good job at growing them. So anyways, I'm pretty happy with how that went, and that's going to be everything for me today. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time.